Minimalist living, frugality, and slow living are interconnected philosophies that offer an alternative to the fast paced, consumption driven lifestyle prevalent in modern society. Together, these approaches challenge the more is better mentality, proposing instead that less is better. They offer a path to a more intentional, meaningful, and sustainable way of life that prioritizes personal fulfillment over material accumulation. Let's dive deep into the world of sneaky expenses that are quietly robbing you of your hard-earned cash. You know, those little things that seem harmless but add up faster than you can say broke. 1. The convenience store. Conundrum. The convenience store. It's right there in the name. Convenient. But let me tell you a little secret. That convenience comes with a hefty price tag. It's late, you're tired, and you swing by the corner store for a quick snack. $7 later, you're walking out with a Gatorade and a bag of chips. No big deal, right? Wrong. That same combo at a regular grocery store would probably cost you half as much. But it's not just about the money. These stores are like temples to processed food. They're filled with sugary drinks, salty snacks, and enough preservatives. 2. The baby clothes blunder. Okay, parents and soon-to-be parents, this one's for you. Your bundle of joy has just arrived, and you want nothing but the best for them. So you splurge on that adorable designer onesie that costs more than your first car. Okay, slight exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Fast forward 3 months, and guess what? That expensive onesie doesn't fit anymore. In fact, it barely got worn because you were saving it for a special occasion. Meanwhile, your baby is happily spitting up on the cheap multi-pack you got as a shower gift. Here's the truth. Babies grow faster than you can say college fund. That designer dress might look cute in photos, but is it worth the cost per wear? Instead of splurging on clothes they'll outgrow in weeks, why not invest that money in their future? A good education fund will last a lot longer than that cashmere romper. 3. Lottery tickets. You're standing in line at the gas station, and there it is, that shiny display of lottery tickets, practically winking at you. The slogan catches your eye. You can't win if you don't play. Sounds logical, right? Well, hold on to your wallet, because I'm about to flip that script. Here's the truth bomb. You win when you don't play. I know it sounds counterintuitive. But let's break it down. The odds of winning the Powerball lottery are about 1 in 300 million. To put that in perspective, you have a better chance of being struck by lightning while doing a handstand on top of a unicorn. Okay, I made that last part up, but you get the idea. Every dollar you spend on lottery tickets is a dollar that could be growing in your investment account. It's like planting seeds. Would you rather scatter them on concrete or in fertile soil? By choosing not to play, you're actually winning at the game of life. So the next time that lottery display tries to seduce you, just wink back and say, "Nice try, but I'm already winning." 4. The gambler's fallacy. Now let's talk about gambling's cousin, casino games. I get it. The flashing lights, the excitement, the dream of hitting it big. It's intoxicating. But here's the sobering truth. The house always wins. Always. Think about it. How do you think they afford those massive buildings, fancy fountains, and all-you-can-eat buffets? It's not from losing money, that's for sure. Each game is carefully designed to give the house an edge. It might be small, but over time, it's as relentless as a dripping faucet. But the real danger isn't just in the math. It's in what gambling can do to your mind and relationships. I've seen it turn normally rational people into addicts, chasing that elusive big win. It's like trying to catch a unicorn with a butterfly net. Entertaining to watch, but ultimately futile and potentially destructive. So the next time you feel the urge to hit the casino, ask yourself, do I want to be the house, or do I want to play against it? Because in the long run, being the house, investing wisely and steadily, is where the real winning happens. 5. The closet of wishful thinking. Let's take a trip to your closet. Go ahead, open it up. See that shirt with the tags still on? The shoes you bought for someday? That's not a wardrobe, my friend. That's a museum of financial regrets. We've all been there. You see something on sale and think, once I lose 10 pounds, or when the weather changes, or my personal favorite, it'll look great for that event I might go to someday. Newsflash. That day rarely comes. Here's a rule of thumb. If you're not excited to wear it right away, don't buy it. Period. It's better to have a small wardrobe of clothes you love than a stuffed closet full of maybes. 6. The subscription spiral. Subscriptions. They start innocently enough. A streaming service here, a meal kit there. Before you know it, you're paying for 8 different services, half of which you forgot you had. It's like that old story about boiling a frog. If you throw a frog in boiling water, it'll jump right out. But if you put it in cool water and slowly heat it up, it won't notice until it's too late. That's what subscriptions do to your budget. Here's what you can do. Take an hour this week to audit all your subscriptions. Cancel anything you haven't used in the last month. For the rest, ask yourself, is this adding value to my life equal to its cost? You might be surprised at how much you can save. 7. The credit card. Credit cards can be fantastic financial tools, if used correctly. But when misused, they turn into wealth-destroying monsters faster than you can say, minimum payment. Here's a hard truth. There is never, ever a good reason to carry a balance on your credit card. The interest rates are higher than Snoop Dogg at a concert. If you're not 100% sure you can pay off your credit card in full each month, stick to debit or cash. It might feel limiting at first, but trust me, your future self will thank you when you're not drowning in high-interest debt. 8. The peak price predicament. Traveling is great, but paying peak prices? Not so much. It's like voluntarily choosing to sit in rush hour traffic when you could take the scenic route instead. Airlines and hotels use dynamic pricing, which means prices skyrocket during popular times. So, if everyone's heading to Cancun in March, maybe consider a different destination. Or if you must go during peak season, plan way ahead. Prices tend to climb as you get closer to the travel date. 9. The bank fee bandit. Banks are supposed to help you manage your money, not steal it, yet somehow they've mastered the art of nickel and diming us with fees. Account fees, ATM fees, overdraft fees. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts, except the paper is your money. Here's the kicker. Most of these fees are completely avoidable. Maintaining a minimum balance, using in-network ATMs, setting up overdraft protection, these are all simple ways to keep your money where it belongs, in your account. And if you do get hit with a fee, don't be afraid to call your bank and ask them to waive it. You'd be surprised how often they'll say yes, especially if you're a good customer. Remember, the squeaky wheel gets the grease, or in this case, keeps the cash. 10. The investment fee frenzy. Investing is crucial for building wealth, but watch out for those sneaky investment fees. Many actively managed funds charge hefty fees, sometimes up to 1.5% of your investment. That might not sound like much, but over time, it can eat away at your returns like termites in a wooden house. Instead, consider low-cost index funds. These funds often charge fees as low as 0.03%. To put that in perspective, for every $10,000 invested, you'd pay $3 instead of $150. That's the difference between buying a coffee and buying, well, 50 coffees. Remember, when it comes to investing, you don't always get what you pay for. Often, you get more by paying less. 11. The international phone fiasco. You're on a dream vacation in Paris. You snap a photo of the Eiffel Tower and excitedly post it on Instagram. A week later, you're back home, and your phone bill arrives. Suddenly, that free social media post cost you more than your fancy French dinner. International phone charges are the silent killers of travel budgets. But here's the good news. They're completely avoidable with a little planning. Most phone companies offer international plans if you activate them ahead of time. Or you can often buy a local SIM card at your destination for a fraction of the cost. A little preparation can save you from a big phone bill headache. Trust me, your memories will be much sweeter without the bitter aftertaste of unexpected charges. 12. The mismatched home syndrome. We've all heard about the American dream, the big house with the white picket fence. But what if that dream turns into a financial nightmare? Buying a home that doesn't fit your lifestyle is like trying to wear shoes 3 sizes too big. Sure, you might be able to walk, but every step is going to be uncomfortable and inefficient. Maybe you bought a big house in the suburbs, only to realize your job is 2 hours away in the city. And now, instead of enjoying your dream home, you're spending most of your time and gas living while you're sitting in traffic. The solution? Be honest about your lifestyle needs. Maybe a smaller place closer to work would make you happier and wealthier. Remember, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. Sometimes it's just more expensive to mow. 13. The energy vampire. Your home might be haunted by energy vampires, that is. These are the appliances and systems that suck up electricity even when you're not using them. That old fridge in the garage? It's not storing food, it's storing your money, and then slowly leaking it away. Those drafty windows, they're like having dollar bills flying out of your house. Consider getting an energy audit. It might cost a bit up front, but the potential savings can be huge. Plus, it's good for the planet. Win-win. 14. The water waste. Woes. Speaking of leaks, let's talk about water. A dripping faucet or a running toilet might seem like small problems, but they can add up to big bills. I once had a broken sprinkler that I didn't notice for weeks. When the water bill came, I almost fell off my chair. It was like I'd been running a water park in my backyard. The good news is, most water issues are easy and cheap to fix. A little preventative maintenance can save you a lot of money. And a lot of water. Mother Nature will thank you too. 15. The car conundrum. Your car should fit your life like a glove. Instead, many of us are driving around in the equivalent of an ill-fitting suit, uncomfortable and expensive. Maybe you bought a big SUV dreaming of weekend camping trips, but instead, you're using it to commute to your office job in the city. Now you're burning through gas, paying high insurance rates, and probably struggling to park. Before you buy your next car, be honest about how you'll use it 90% of the time. A fuel-efficient compact might not look as cool as that massive truck, but your wallet will think it's plenty sexy. 16. The restaurant drink dilemma. Okay, I know this one might ruffle some feathers, but hear me out. Those sodas and cocktails at restaurants, they're marked up more than a designer handbag at a boutique. That can of soda that costs the restaurant 20 cents, they're charging you $2 or $3 for it. And alcohol? The markup is even worse. Now, I'm not saying never to order drinks at restaurants, but maybe think twice before automatically saying yes to that soda or cocktail. Water is free, good for you, and won't leave you with a financial hangover. 17. The misguided gift. Giving. Gift giving is a beautiful thing, but it can also be a massive waste of money if not done thoughtfully. We often default to buying gifts because that's what society tells us to do. But here's a secret. Not everyone's love language is gifts. Some people value quality time more, or words of affirmation, or acts of service. Before you spend a fortune on gifts for friends and family, take some time to understand what they truly value. A heartfelt letter or a day spent together might mean more than any expensive trinket. 18. The degree dilemma. Last but not least, let's talk about education. A degree can be a powerful tool for building wealth, or it can be an expensive piece of paper that doesn't do much more than decorate your wall. The average cost of a 4-year degree is now over $100,000. That's a hefty investment, and like any investment, you should expect a return. Before you, or your kids, commit to a degree, do some research. What's the job market like for that field? What's the average starting salary? Is a degree even necessary? Or are there alternative paths? Remember, the goal of education should be to open doors, not to close off financial opportunities. Choose wisely. And there you have it, 18 sneaky expenses that could be draining your wealth faster than a leaky bucket. But here's the good news. Now that you know about them, you have the power to plug those leaks.